Alright, so I'm sure you've all seen this at this point. What went down in the Oval Office with the big argument between Zelensky and Trump and Vance, but we've got an 8-minute version here. Let's watch this shit. Let's put this shit on. Let's see what old Krasnov has to say.
And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin.
That's a great question. Great, well, statement. What's he gonna say? Don't let that guy back again. Whoever let that guy in, don't let him back again. He's not supposed to ask me that. I align myself just the right amount with Putin, which is 100% unconditional support.
Message for them.
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way.
Alright, so he seems to be playing the sort of enlightened centrist, you know, the negotiator, so to speak. So, I can't be biased against Putin because we're trying to get a deal with him. Okay, will he take that same attitude with Zelensky, though? That's gotta hold true with Zelensky, right? You can't be biased against Zelensky. You think he'll take that same attitude throughout this video? Take a wild guess.
I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with
Sure
anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get...
Man who's absolutely fucking gutted the US's foreign relations with the rest of the Americas, or at least Canada and Mexico, and also Europe with trade wars and other bullshit, says he's aligned with the good of the world. It's like Hitler saying that he's all for the good of fucking Europe.
This thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous...
I don't know why he hates Putin so much. This Putin guy, he just had a dream one night that Putin was going to town on his missus. And ever since then, he just hates the guy so much. I really don't know why. Why does Zelensky hate him so much? I really don't know. I don't understand. It is not like he bombed any of your hospitals or anything. Oh my god. Mr. Winston Churchill, why do you hate Hitler so much?
This hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, you know, him either.
Yeah, you mean Russia.
So...
Yeah, the side that's not exactly in love with him, being Russia.
Question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to
And
get the
Hitler
things
was
set. I'm
aligned
aligned
with
with
Europe. So was Hitler.
I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want
Hence
me
the
to be tough? I
tariffs,
could be
because
tougher
he's
than any
aligned
human
with them.
being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that
Against
way,
Putin, he
that's the way
wouldn't.
it goes.
I've
One more
not seen him
question.
say one bad thing about Putin. It's always admiration.
For 4 years, the United
stage
States
4
of America,
JD
we had a
Vance
president
coming
who
in.
stood up at press
He might
conferences
have
and
more
talked tough
eyeliner
about
on
Vladimir
than me.
Putin, and then Putin
Who knows?
invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy.
The same
We
diplomacy
tried
that
the
they already
pathway of
tried
Joe
multiple
Biden
times
thumping our
since
chest and
Crimea.
pretending that the President of the United
Or that
States'
they tried at the
words
start of the
mattered
war.
more than the President of the
That
United States'
ceasefire
actions.
agreement
What makes America
after
a
Crimea
good
that
country is
Putin
America
definitely
engaging in
respected.
diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and
Bro doesn't even know his
So,
geopolitics.
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, Yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told
And
me
he went
that
and
he will never
broke
go.
it.
We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr.
are not
President,
strong-
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the
Bruh.
American media.
Bruh.
Right now, you guys are going around.
JD Vance just sounds like such a fucking male Karen throughout this whole interview. I think it's disrespectful that you're trying to litigate this in front of the whole media. Did he even have a say in all of this, Zelensky, whether the media would be here or not? Likely not. Let's be honest, Trump and Vance probably got them all in, because this was all premeditated. They wanted the media to get footage of them both hounding Zelensky on camera, so that they could try and embarrass him in front of the whole world.
And forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
You should be thanking him. Yeah, you should be thanking him for saying he'll only give you aid, if you give him a fuckload of your minerals. You should be thanking him for wanting to force you into a ceasefire deal with no security guarantees to make sure Russia doesn't break it again. You should thank him for calling you a dictator. You should thank him for slagging you off all the time. Just thank him. Thank him.
That you say what problems we have.
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people.
Oh God, Zelensky brings up a valid point. You want to talk so much shit, you want to act like you know the situation over here. Why don't you come over here? Biden did it because he wasn't pussy, and Putin didn't do shit. When Biden was in Kyiv, Putin didn't do shit. Why don't you come over here? Actually, I've seen the YouTube videos, Mr. Zelensky. Well, there you fucking have it. Geopolitical expert Vance has 300 hours of YouTube videos watched. He went on the Russo-Ukraine conflict page, and he scrolled that baby right to the bottom. Vance, the geopolitical connoisseur, knows more about it than hell, even Zelensky, at this point, you might as well argue.
You bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful
will answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the United
Do you think that it's respectful? Again, throughout this whole thing, J.D. Vance just comes off as such a whiny, impetuous little bitch throughout this whole thing. He just does really sound like a fucking male Karen throughout this whole thing. I was honestly surprised that he actually instigated it this time, because usually, you know, as Trump, he likes to go on the offense, show his dominance, etc. You'd think J.D. Vance would kind of just be fumbling around with his dick stuck in the couch or something, but no, he actually went on the offense this time. I think he's just going, doing Trump's guide, what Trump told him to say, to be honest.
States of America, and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country.
What has he even done to attack him? What has he even done to attack this administration? I don't know. You two have done far more in the past couple of weeks to attack Zelensky. He's really, all he said is Trump's stuck in a disinformation bubble, which is literally objectively true. That's about it. It's funny also that he says we're trying to save your country, like, yeah, we're trying to save your country. Also, we'll fucking cut off aid, bro. Oh yeah, you want aid? Yeah, give us a fuckload of your minerals. We're trying to save you, though. We've got your best interests in mind. You don't understand.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now. But you will feel it in the future. God
don't-
bless.
you don't know that.
God bless.
Orange
God
Man
bless. You
Strikes
are not
Back.
the
Here he
Lord.
comes.
Don't tell us
Your
what we're
boy,
gonna feel.
Donny
We're
T.
trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to
So this is what he likes to do as well. He likes to put on this whole macho sort of bravado. You see him saying, you're in no position to dictate, you're in no position. Don't tell us how we'll feel, you're in no position to dictate. He likes to try and remind the opponent of how weak, how small they are in comparison to him, and establish himself as the top man, the kingpin, fucking Big Donny, etc. He loves it. It's, you know, he wants to feel in control, he wants to dominate, etc. It's this whole fucking big macho bravado thing that a lot of fucking conservative men do, and it's one of the reasons why the MAGAs clap like retarded seals for him.
dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very
You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position. You shouldn't have allowed yourself to get invaded. You shouldn't have allowed yourself to get raped. Wear a shorter skirt, Zelensky. Then Putin wouldn't have come in and raped you. That's what he sounds like right now, but I guess, you know, as a top raper, old raping Don, he knows a thing or two about victim blaming. You know, it's one of his favourite pastimes, so he's done this before, and he'll do it again with Zelensky.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
But right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
Again, he just likes to remind his opponent that you're in no position to do anything or say anything or have any say over anything. We have control over you. He loves to establish that dominance part of his whole macho bravado thing, that he gets off on it because he's a bit fucking wacky like that. He's got to remind Zelensky, you know, you need us. You're our bitch. You will agree to whatever we say. And he knows that Ukraine would struggle a lot without US aid, and he abuses that fact to try and force Zelensky into a shit deal. You know, he abuses that fact to try and give Zelensky the shittest end of the stick possible, and then he expects Zelensky to not only begrudgingly accept it, but actually roll over and thank him and kiss his feet, because that's the kind of fucking egomaniacal narcissist that Trump is.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
what do you think?
You're
Again, this
gambling
is just
with
straight up
World
Kremlin
War
talking
III.
points. This is what literal members of Putin's fucking administration have been saying about Zelensky for months, that he's gambling with millions of lives, that he's gonna force their hand and start World War III. Yeah, I don't see a fraction of this much pushback towards Putin. You know, the one who actually invaded, the one who's actually gambling millions of lives and World War III. I don't think he could give a mite of pushback towards Putin if he tried. I'd shit my pants if he gave any pushback towards Putin, and honestly, I think he'd do the same thing, because he'd realise, oh fuck, what have I done? I wasn't supposed to do that. He just cannot do it. He does not have the backbone. He is owned by Putin. He's Putin's bitch. Literal members of the Kremlin celebrating this on Twitter, saying that he put Zelensky in his place. US has basically joined the axis of evil now, because fucking members of the Kremlin are agreeing with the US president.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I don't even know what is this perceived disrespect from Zelensky that they keep talking about as well, because what has he even said or done that's so disrespectful? You know, these two have disrespected him far more within the past couple of weeks.
With
Back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
where
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
As
entire
well.
meeting? No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank you? You went to
This is great,
Pennsylvania
and
and campaigned.
he's rightfully had the piss taken out of him for this. Like, even the fucking White House quoted him saying that. with the photo of him. They really think he cooked with that one, but he didn't. He just sounded like such a petulant child. Have you thanked us? My mommy said you have to say your pieces and thank yous, Mr. Zelensky. Like, he sounds like my mum. When I was little and I'd get a fucking birthday present from a family member or a relative. Did you remember to thank them? Use your manners. Say please, say thank you. Just a fucking petulant, whiny child. He's just ridiculous.
For the opposition in October, offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
So this is what they keep doing as well, I've noticed. They'll bully, victim blame, and then play the moral high ground. Oh, we're just trying to save you, though. You know, and they'll go from, this is all your fault, you should have wore a shorter skirt, otherwise Putin wouldn't have come in and raped you. You know, they'll say, we fucking hate you, we hate your family, we hope your family all burn to death in a house fire, we hope you fall down the stairs and you become paralyzed from the neck down. You fucking scum, you fucking warmonger, we hate you, and we just want to see you fucking perish. But also, oh, we just want the best for you, Mr. Zelensky. Stop being so mean with us and so just please cooperate. We want to save you, we want to save you. You fucking scum, we're gonna kill you. We want to save you, we're trying our best here.
Please. You think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your
Yeah,
country's in big trouble.
they are both speaking loudly, just trying to assert dominance, because again, it's just part of this whole, you know, loud is right, fucking alpha, wannabe alpha macho thing. You know, his supporters are so fucking retarded that they'll probably think that Trump and Vance won this just because they were louder. But honestly, Trump could do a really comically loud, wet, sloppy shit in the middle of this interview, have to be escorted out, the press would have to be taken out, and they probably still think he won this whole debate. That's how slavishly loyal to this cult they are. They try and spin it that he somehow still won the debate, that like, oh, Zelensky placed laxatives in his drink, so it was rigged from the start in actuality, so Trump wins in the end.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a
answer?
lot of talking. Your
He just
country
barely
is in
fucking
big trouble.
talked.
I
It's
know.
just been
You're
like
not winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
six,
You have a
5,
damn
6
good
minutes
chance
of you
of
two
coming out
hounding
okay
him.
because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and
voted
you
for
men
your
are brave.
So $350 billion is also a bald-faced lie. So they've given just under $200 billion in military aid. And, you know, Trump says that Europe needs to keep up and pay more, you know, give them more military aid. The US is doing all the legwork, he's sponging off of the US, but not you guys. Europe's also given around the same amount, though. Both have given around 180 billion, Europe slightly less. But it makes sense that Europe slightly less because the collective GDP of all the European countries who've donated is actually lower than America's, so they've actually donated more proportionate to their GDP. But Trump doesn't want to act like that. He just wants to always act like the victim, that we're being conned.
But they had to use our military.
Yes, what about
if you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
If
Did
me.
he
you
just
didn't
shove
have
him then? Did he just shove him?
military.
What about West
if
speaking?
you didn't have
You
our
invited me.
military,
No, he just kind of lightly, very lightly, but, you know, trying to assert dominance. This whole thing is fucking disgusting, by the way. Like, we don't even treat enemies. You know, when we negotiate with, like, hostile countries, when we negotiate something with them, we don't even treat them this poorly. You'll never see him treat Putin especially this poorly, and he's just fucking hounded him. He's being aggressive, he's bullying, he's victim blaming, etc., etc., the whole 9 yards. It's fucking, quite frankly, disgusting, and it really is quite unprecedented as well.
equipment.
You invited
If
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over
Again,
2
he
weeks.
knows
In
that,
3
and he
days, I heard
abuses
it from
that to
Putin.
try
In
and
3
get
days. This is something
Maybe
Zelensky
less.
to
in 2
obey
weeks. Of
with
course he has.
It's going to be a
whatever
very hard
his-
thing to do business
his
like this.
whims
I tell
are.
you.
Just say thank you.
I
Accept-
spent a lot of time.
Just say thank you. He's really fucking gunning for that thank you. Honestly, I'm almost joining JD Vance's side at this point. If he asks one more time, I might be there with him saying, yeah, just thank him. Just say thank you to Vance, please. They're just such fucking petulant children. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine Biden signing an aid package, then just staring Zelensky right in the eye and just saying, you didn't say thank you, Jack. It's quite funny, really, because Zelensky has also posted saying thank you on Twitter literally every time he gets an aid package from someone, and he adds them. If he means thank this administration, which, yeah, I'm guessing he does, I don't know why Zelensky would thank this administration when they've said, we're gonna cut off all military aid. You know, you sign a deal to give us a fuckload of your minerals, that's the only way you'll get any aid. We want you forced into a ceasefire deal with no security guarantees. Why the fuck would he thank you?
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong.
When you're wrong.
We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's good for them to see how much of a
That's why I
clown
kept
you
this
are.
going so long.
Kept this going so long because I think he's genuinely deluded and under the impression, as most MAGAs are, that they are the voice of the silent majority, when it's actually the reverse. Even, you know, being pro-Ukraine is even broadly popular amongst most Republicans, a lot of Republicans, so most of the country has been embarrassed at him over this. Even many of the people who voted for him, which, well done. This is what you voted for. You'll say, I didn't vote for this, but yeah, you did. And he's embarrassed himself on the world stage as well.
You have to be thankful.
Oh
You don't
my
have the
god!
cards.
Oh my god. You have to be thankful. You gotta say thank you. You gotta use your manners, Mr. Zelensky. Did your mommy not teach you your pleases and your thank yous? It's ridiculous. If he says that one more time, or if
You're
Vance
buried
says
there.
that one more
Your
time.
people are dying.
tell
you,
You're
lose
running
it.
low
I
on
know.
soldiers. Listen,
Don't,
you're
please,
running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire.
Yeah, not
I
without
want to go. And I
guarantees,
want this.
dipshit.
Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said,
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
that was with
I love how almost every fucking interview or, you know, thing that's being filmed that he's in, he's got to find a way to bring up old sleepy Joe Biden. Like, Biden lives so rent-free in this guy's head. I imagine from the nanosecond after it was projected that Biden had won the 2020 election, he's just never left this guy's head. Oh, and by the way, that sleepy Joe Biden, did I ever tell you how much I really hate that guy? Can't stand him. He stole my election. He stole everything from me, that sleepy Joe. Oh my god, the Biden ex-Trump toxic Yowie is real. Doomed toxic Yowie. It's real. It's canon. I'm gonna read some fanfics of that later, actually. That would be fucking funny.
with
Your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me.
Throw
That was
Obama
with
in as
Obama,
well.
who gave you sheets, and I gave you
Obama.
javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take
Good
out all
old
those
Obama.
tanks. Obama gave you sheets.
I just want to hear
In
him
fact,
say
the
Obama
statement is,
again.
Obama
Like, can you
gave
believe he
sheets and
actually
Trump
said
gave
that?
javelins.
Fucking Obama.
You got to be more thankful.
Oh
Because
my.
let me tell you, you don't have.
They just really were. They're really gunning for that thank you. You gotta respect the hustle. Fucking hell. You gotta be more thankful, Mr. Zelensky. You really gotta be more thankful. It doesn't really matter how thankful he was. He could get down on his knees. You know, he could kiss Trump's feet. It wouldn't be enough. You know, he's already said thank you
I have the
who knows
card.
how many times. In fact, he even said thank you after this meeting, which went fucking atrociously. He said thank you, President, on Twitter. And, you know, MAGAs, people like, what's his name? Small face fella, Turning Point USA fella. He was like, we don't want your thank you, you maggot. It's like these people are just ghoulishly evil.
Cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
Gotta remind him that. You know, you're a bitch. You need us. Well, in summary, this whole thing has been a fucking fine mess, that's for sure. Jesus Christ, I need a drink. My head hurts. I don't think that's gonna help. But, yeah, Kamala Harris told us that this would happen. You know, she told us, she told you. You didn't listen to her, you didn't take her seriously. This is what you voted for. Sorry. And this is just a fucking disgrace, really. But what did we expect? It kind of seemed like Starmer had changed his mind for a sec with that meeting where he's like, Starmer went in, used his maxed out charisma to roll a nat 20 on persuasion, and then Trump was like, yeah, I'm gonna work with that fine Zelensky fella. We're gonna continue aid. We're gonna continue the sanctions. Turns out he just fucking U-turned on it straight away. I don't even think it was a U-turn. I think as soon as he said, as he was saying it, you know, he's crossing his fingers behind his back. He knew he was going to go back on it. And he had this whole meeting planned to try and embarrass Zelensky. Fucking unprecedented that we treat an allied country like this. We don't even treat enemy countries like this. But he's a Russian asset. Everything he said basically was a fucking Russian talking point. People from the literal Kremlin are agreeing with him and smiling and celebrating this meeting as a win. He's Putin's bitch. It's been apparent for ages that he's Putin's bitch. Even Hillary Clinton, as much as I hate the woman, she was ahead of her time. She was saying it back in 2016 when the evidence was far less substantial than it is today. But the thing is, we just need to fucking cut America off like this new MERS guy said from Germany. We need a military alliance without them, because I know it's going to be hard for Ukraine without military aid from America, and Trump knows that. The thing is, though, he's going to ask them to capitulate to ridiculous needs time and time again. If they want military aid, there's going to be ridiculous conditions set on it. So they could agree, but then he will U-turn again. It's never going to be enough. He's not pro-alliances. Allies implies equals. Trump doesn't believe in equals. You know, he just believes in pawns that he can use. The only people above him, really, are, I would say, Netanyahu, but now it seems like Netanyahu's kind of... It's a two-way thing. Netanyahu, one day he's got the leash, one day Trump's got the leash. The only one who's truly always got the leash on Trump is Putin, which has been the case for ages. You know, he doesn't even give a fraction of this much pushback to Putin. Like I said, only nice things to say about the guy. You know, the bloodthirsty tyrant who throws people out of windows for disagreeing with him, who runs a far-right ultra-nationalist government. That's because that's Trump's ideal model, right? Like, that's what Trump aspires to, same as Viktor Orban. But no, I don't just think that he's an asset because he's ideologically aligned with the guy, because if he was an asset just for those reasons, I still don't think he'd be this outright pro-Putin. Like, can't even criticize the guy ever. Putin's got some serious dirt on him. I don't know if I believe the Krasnov rumors, you know, that Trump's a KGB agent under the name Krasnov, that he was compromised and made to work for them. Putin's got some absolutely diabolical shit on him, though, like, some really foul shit that he's holding over him, because, yeah, everything he does on foreign policy on this is what Putin won. You know, Trump's actually achieved the impossible of making me respect Reagan, and I really fucking hate Reagan. Reagan, really nasty guy. Really nasty, one of the worst. But at least Reagan was 1, pro-NATO, 2, anti-Russia, and 3, anti-isolationism. You know, he was against those core things that make Trump so cancerous. You know, he sided with his European allies, with NATO allies. You spent nearly 50 years fighting a Cold War with Russia. You win. Turns out that actually, no, they were just playing the long game. They just... And in the end, they won. They got one of their guys in the White House. Yeah, fucking concerning, and to be honest, it's only gonna get worse. We need to separate from the US, militarily and economically. We need to come together as Europeans. Because Trump doesn't believe in alliances, he only believes in, you know, pawns. He only believes in transactional alliances and using people, so yeah, fuck him, fuck them. That's about it really. Trying a new format of video, webcam video. Tell me if you want more. I don't know if you want more. I don't really think I have the most visually pleasing face to look at, but hey, trying something out that's new. So yeah, see you. See you.